So when I first proposed this project, I was thinking, how am I going to study this? So I think one of the best way to study is to experience it, to be there on site, go around in many locations. Cool, wow, that's the feeling of mountain. It's true, it feels powerful. I think we begin with some of the obvious ones, right? Like some of the bigger formal temples, right? Where we saw and met with many monks and people who are worshipping Buddha or all the major religions. That was one of the starting points. Then I think in the middle, as we visited Doi Tung, right, then we saw at the car park of Doi Tung, where there is a more like an informal spiritual side, where we saw like different type of spiritual sculptures, objects that that doesn't seem to have one particular theme. They are a mix of pram, mix of people's spiritual belief, of Buddhism, different types of figures.
And it's cold along the river. So nice.
This is a kind of
Guan Yin.
Yin. Oh, my friend, hello.
Your friend.
I always go to Guan Yin Temple like every month. Not like they don't have a fixed like pagoda or something, like a stupa or it's something that somewhere where people decide that this is spiritual. And year after year, like people just come and they add something to it, add something to that, and then it has its own character. And nobody is really kind of making any rule about this place, right? You can interact with the landscape anyhow you feel like this is sacred to you, and you add something there. And also other things like objects like that people start to use for offerings.
พี่ทำแบบนี้มา5 ปีอะถ้าไม่ได้จริงคือไม่มาถึงขนาดนี้
ก็คือมาด้วยความไม่ได้ตั้งใจ
คือพี่มายืนใช่เพราะว่าตอนนั้นก็มีปัญหาเรื่องธุรกิจไงแล้วก็ไม่รู้จะหาอะไรเป็นที่พึ่งเลยต้องมาไหว้พระเชียงรายแล้วก็เนี่ยมาไหว้ท่านแล้วก็มาขอพรเราเริ่มต้นเหมือนความรู้เราเริ่มต้นมาจากนางกวักไงนางกวักจะเป็นน้ำแดงแล้วก็พื้นเพก็คือที่เขามาแก้พี่ก็เห็นแล้วเป็นน้ำแดงก่อนหน้านี้ที่พี่ก่อนมาแก้บนก็เป็นน้ำแดงหมดพี่ก็เลยเอาน้ำแดงมาแก้เพราะว่าสิ่งศักดิ์สิทธิ์ตั้งหลายในประเทศไทยของเราคือน้ำแดงเพส่วนใหญ่เห็นไหมสมมติว่าเรานั่งกินน้ำแดงอยู่ที่บนสะพานตั้งขวดหลังจากนั้นก็จะมีน้ำแดงเต็มไปหมดเขานึกว่ามาแก้บนสีแดงมงคลบอกกันนะสีแดงมงคล
And all these objects start to manifest or present themselves in different scale of the landscape and different areas. It's as though people imagine all these rocks and forms to be like mountain shape. And that was really, really interesting. That started to get me to think about, wow, Thai spirituality is complex. But at the same time, Thai spirituality is closely related to nature because of the way people start to imagine how their spiritual practice will interact with such mountain form. I think another thing that was interesting in the process was seeing how a lot of the arrangement of the spiritual object, even in the temple, hierarchy, hierarchical system of Thai politics, Thai culture as well, and I think that really kind of reinforced the importance of mountain, or the significance of mountain as a shape, but also as a meaning in Thai spirituality. That helped me to kind of like consider also the work in terms of thinking about the shape and the form, about thinking about layers. And at the same time, I think some of the interviews were also very inspiring. And these interviews, we mainly wanted to understand why people's spiritual practices are in this way, right? And what is spirituality to them, right? Because spirituality is a big word, okay? And it can mean very differently for different people.
ได้ดังนั้นหมายความว่าทุกที่ทุกแห่งเนี่ยพระเจ้าทรงสถิตอยู่ดังนั้นพระเจ้าไม่ได้อยู่ที่เดียวเนาะหมายความว่ายกตัวอย่างเหมือนกับออกซิเจนที่เราหายใจเนี่ยออกซิเจนเนี่ยผมไปอเมริกาผมไปเกาหลีทุกที่เนี่ยก็เราก็ต้องมีออกซิเจนที่หายใจใช่ไหมมันเป็นสิ่งที่จำเป็นมากแต่พูดถึงเรามองไม่เห็นเหมือนกับพระเจ้าอยู่ทุกที่ทุกแห่งเหมือนกันฉะนั้นเมื่อเราไปที่ธรรมชาติที่สงบที่ภูเขาที่แม่น้ำเนี่ยเราสามารถที่จะแสวงหาพระเจ้าได้พระเจ้าทรงสถิตอยู่ทุกหนทุกแห่ง
As human being, we have two components. One is our body. This body need to feed by your food, by energy, and again we have the mind. The mind should have also energy. Spirituality is about the energy of the mind. Whatever you believe in God, you believe in animism, you believe in something that is give you encouragement to your mind, because you are the mind and the body. Even you have good thing for the body, but if you have problem in your mental formation, that is not go together, the body and the mind. So spirituality is about energy to the mind. Whatever you believe. As long because we believe in Buddhism, spirituality is not just to believe, but to develop, to cultivate our life. Cultivate in terms of body. We should have good body. We should have good health, and also cultivate in terms of mind. We should develop our mind to the aspect that we know the reality of the things. This is the main purpose of Buddhism.
And yet at the same time, spirituality is so powerful. It's powerful because like we hear some of the accounts of people where they would move their whole life, things from Bangkok, come to Chiang Rai. The monk at Tham Tupu, so many decades of living in Bangkok and more comfortable environment, would move to stay in a cave in Chiang Rai. And the cave has no amenities. There's no toilet, there's no bed, it's not so comfortable. But he would move here because Taoist Suwan that he believed spoke to him and asked him to move.
ท้าวเวสสุวรรณตรงนี้ที่เขารักษาอยู่ทางเหนือไปดูเลยไปเปิดเว็บดูว่าเขารักษาตรงนี้ของเขาอยู่ปู่ท้าวเวสสุวรรณอยู่เหนือเขามาเองไม่ต้องมองเห็นเขาให้ตามเขามาโน่นอยู่นู่นนั่งอยู่นี่นั่นกูจะไปไหนเขาต้องไปด้วยกูละมาตะกะดีเฮตลูซามาเนเฮตุกูลูตาละมาติกะลิตุโลบดกะดีลูตาละบูกะละติกะลิตุโลบูลาติกูไม่เอาอะไรทั้งสิ้นให้อะไรปู่ก็ไม่เอาปู่ต้องการพ้นทุกข์อริยสัจสี่ปู่ต้องการเดินอริยสัจสี่เท่านั้นอย่างอื่นไม่มีเพราะว่าสิ่งศักดิ์สิทธิ์นี่ของเขาส่วนหนึ่งปู่อยู่ของปู่ส่วนหนึ่งปู่อยู่กับพระผู้มีพระภาคเจ้าอย่างอื่นไม่มี Talu kola matagali te ala matagali ti.
Right, and similarly, I think with like the nun, when we spoke to her, she also moved from Bangkok to be here.
I don't know why. Since young, I feel like I like mountains.
Yes.
Without any reason. Without everything changes. That is normal, and that is the real thing. It's true. Nothing in this world is stable. Everything changes every second, but you don't see it or you see it. So if things change, I just see that's normal. Yeah, it doesn't affect my feeling. Things happen because of some reasons. There must be reasons behind it, which I may understand or not understand. It's nothing concern me. So my life cannot be like this every day or cannot be like that. So if it change, it change.
Right, so I think spirituality is such a strong force, right? A strong motivation that I think I'm so inspired in the sense that it makes us can become like superhuman, right? It makes us able to think about we can go beyond ourselves, beyond this body, right? And thinking about like more than human ways of thinking, which I think is to me the most interesting in this project. But it's not just also a project, but it's also a practice, right, for myself, a kind of lifestyle. So I think I wanted to experience what people are saying, right? And I think I have done a little bit of vipassana meditation, which a lot of these people we spoke to are practitioners as well, right? And everybody had a kind of like, there is a goal, right, to gain enlightenment. And then at the same time, we see the enlightenment, the idea of enlightenment is so obscure, right? It's many people can have different meaning, right? And we don't know when we're going to be there, or is there actually such a thing?
How long?
1 hour.
Sure. I will.
And so I did meditation on site as one of the ways of researching, right? To understand like what is the sensation, what is the experience of meditation, why do many Thai and people around the world as well, right, would practice meditation. What is the benefit? What is it that makes us want to become more than human?
How do you feel?
Every movement around me. There was also intense numbness and pain at my legs, upper thighs. And then there were feeling of cooling sensation at certain points. There was a fulfilling circulation of awareness of sensations. And then a return of intensity in unexpected moments. Moments unguarded, moments not vigilant. Am I able to make it? Focus, focus, focus. Breathe, observe. When my focus was the most tested by the intensity of my physical sensation, pain on my legs, a light sound of alarm. Ring, ring, thank God.
Okay, Zen. Thumbs up.
เราพยายามละพวกนี้ออกไปแล้วจะเห็นชัดว่าตัวตนของเรามีอยู่ตรงนี้ลมเข้าก็รู้ลมออกก็รู้ก็แค่นี้ก่อนเนี่ยนั่งแบบไหนก็ได้อานาปานสติไม่จำเป็นยองก็นั่งได้จิตอยู่กับเราแต่เราเมื่อเราขยับไม่พอรู้ว่าจิตพอมั่นคงแล้วทีนี้เราจะรู้ตัวตนของเราเองมันจะไปเองสิ่งพวกนี้จะไปเราเขาก็จะแนะนำเราไปเองเข้าใจไหม
Doesn't matter how long. Doesn't matter if I move. Is it try not to move or it's okay to move?
It's okay to move if you feel pain.
มันต้อง
If
รู้
you don't feel pain, should sit there.
เอาเลย
Okay, start.
เอาเลยเริ่ม
You set a time, okay?
Yep, I'll do it for you.
Thank you.
Okay, Zen. Thumbs up.
And that itself, I think, is a very kind of environmentalist thinking. right? And I think if we become aware about all of these sensations that we have in relation to the environment, it will help us to be more connected with nature, right? To be better humans, to learn how to be human that would be together with nature, understanding the rhythms of nature, and how do we work with nature to kind of develop ourselves. At the same time, I think I was also inspired by, when we think about spirituality, a lot of people talk about how they want to connect with God or connect with something larger than us. Then in my conversation with the astronomer, Dr. Momei from Chiang Rai Ratchabat University, right, then we started to talk about, spirituality, if it's about connecting to something larger than us, then ancient people have done it all along. And they did it really well, right? Like they would build like super architecture that are like UNESCO World Heritage Site now, right? Where their temples would be orientated or built in order to observe the sun, the moon, or the stars, right? Observe the sky.
Okay, this is okay. I will show you how to use this properly very quickly. So this is this is north, south, east, and west. This stellarium tell us how to help us to look at the sky at exactly date and time. So right now we are looking the sky at the 13th of December and 6 o'clock in the morning and 39 minutes. Okay.
Yeah.
And this is the sky.
Yeah.
That day. And the second one, you don't know any constellations, so
yes, I don't know.
Press the second one is the name of the constellation.
Right.
But in your computer it will be English.
Right.
Okay. And if you don't know what each constellation is, you press the third button here.
Right.
So it will show you the shape or they force you to imagine like this is a Big Dipper.
I see.
Star like that. So what do you prefer? Before the sunrise or before the moonrise? That depends on us. Okay, so I'm thinking that we should find any important star that align like this.
Yes,
Something like that.
Okay.
We don't. It doesn't matter date. It doesn't matter the time. Okay. If the time, it doesn't.
We can log on the. It's okay. I mean, what is the time now? This is
in the morning of 13.
Right.
The bright star in Orion. In Thai we call Totos. Okay, zeros is Dow Jones. Dow Jones. His hand. This is hand, and that's the totals like that.
Right.
That's the head of total.
Right.
Total.
Yeah.
It's a scale like that. Yeah. So that is the shell of the total.
Right.
Yeah. And but we concentrate on this.
Right.
อันนี้ดาวไถ
So I wanted to bring that kind of ancient wisdom also within the work, incorporating into the installation using astronomical calculations that would help people who come to see my artwork, right, where they will be able to meditate at particular positions and hope that through that alignment with astronomical calculations of the hanging pieces that would help them to meditate as well. Next position. Next. Good one. I think when we were thinking about aligning with the sky, we thought about the sun. We also thought about the moon, right? But I mean, of course, the stars in the nighttime as well. Right? So when we did some, there was a session we went. The main point was to actually understand how we can observe the star from Chiang Rai, and how do we bring some of the experience of observing the stars into the work as well. That is also one of the reasons why they are dark, the ceramic pieces they are hanging, all right, and then the spotlight will create a bright spark. It's almost like the stars in the sky, but hanging in a formation that that follows the earth movement.
Yeah.
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 So now we know where we have to hang in, right? The hanging point.
Yes, it will help us to understand where the hanging point may be, but this is not the exact hanging point. Yeah, but I do need this.
Where is this line come from? Like this one.
This
right?
is a calculation from like it's a calculation from also astronomy. Like this is this is the true east on 24 February, Makabucha Day.
yeah.
All of them have an exact angle. Yeah, so this is based on this day. That is based on 20 March. This is based on 22 December. So when basically it means that on 24 February, we will make an event, and people will try to want to be on this scene. Yeah.
It means like the starting point, right?
Yeah. So I mean, in the software, it needs to be the correct, like if we measure, I don't know how we can measure this. Are you labeling soon?
I'm 30. Yeah, that's why we will launch to Thailand. And I think I wanted to also present some of this fleeting sensation, this obscure idea of enlightenment, through the installation as well, which you will see, right? Because like then all these pieces, they are hanging, right? They will be reflected by light, okay? And these qualities could change, right? Because these hanging pieces are on very long strings and they will move. It's almost like when you sit and you meditate, right? Some of these sensations come and go, and it keeps changing. And also being human in the sense that to become very observant of ourselves, the sensation that we feel, how do we feel in relation to the environment. And that itself, I think, is a very kind of environmentalist thinking, right? And I think if we become aware about all of these sensations that we have in relation to the environment, it will help us to be more connected with nature, right? To be better humans, to learn how to be human that would be together with nature, understanding the rhythms of nature, and how do we work with nature to kind of develop ourselves. Right, I think the major work that I'm presenting is the installation that you will see in the center of the Vihan. There will be 300 pieces of ceramic works, and each ceramic work, so 300 pieces of these ceramic works. There are small, medium, and also a large size. And so these pieces are responding to Thai spirituality in terms of thinking about the experience of meditation. There's no clear standard or answer about what is enlightenment, right? So these pieces, there are 300 of them that will be hanging, and the shape is actually inspired also by the Buddha's eye. Other than the Buddha's eye, right? So it's also inspired by the iconography of the bird, right? The bird that brings the soul to the heaven. So imagine that in this site there are multiple layers of meaning in the installation. So one as a Buddha's eye, which means that there will be 300 of Buddha's eye, kind of like pointing at you as you're meditating. And these pieces are hung in relation to the sun's path over the course of the year. And also one of the key points is that it's some of this ceramic will be lit up, and they will highlight the sun path on Makabucha Day, right, which is a very important holy day for Buddhists. Yeah, and then we will also have 3 sets of photo prints with mirrors, right? So the mirrors and the photo print will create this representation of the waxing of the moon, right? Again, thinking about time passing, but also thinking about how we connect to the moon as one of the natural elements. And these photos are taken from the photos on the print, right, which will be reflected by the mirror. They are taken from all the site studies, these locations, the forests nearby these sites that I've studied. So in a sense, we can say that these forests are the periphery forests, right? We don't know how long they're going to be there, right? The same idea that was captured in my 2014 work, which are also presented in the Biennale this time, right? There are 3 sets of works that you can see on the wall. Those are also peripheral forests from the edge of development around Chiang Rai. That's 10 years ago. So in a sense, I think time and space is something that we try to capture in this work. That from 10 years ago, the first residency I had, 10 years later, where I present this new massive installation in the center of the Vihan. The work should not just be something that is beautiful. That is why we incorporate astronomical calculations, hoping that it will help us to feel better aligned, a better understanding with nature that is beyond our naked eyes. So the meditation sitting is also one of the ideas that if you sit in these 3 specific positions, it will help you to observe something more than you are just standing around. And so these positions are calculated, right, in relation to all of these hanging pieces. So basically in those positions is the idea that you should expect a sense of alignment in these 3 positions that will be unique to that. And these sitting mats are also printed with photos of collage photos of forests around Chiang Rai this time. So I think you can imagine that we are really trying to map nature, right? Whether it's through astronomical means or through photography, right? Capturing the sites and then collaging them and bringing and synthesizing that experience here in a way that we hope it will help you to understand more about yourself through meditation and in relation to the larger environment or even to the sky, right?